Welcome back, friends. I told you I was coming back, cousins, didn't I? I told you I was coming back. You know what? I am Betty J Gathers. You will see that little subscribe button at the bottom. I want you to press it so you get all the notifications and make comments and come part of this family, cousins. I am trying to extend my family. I want a bigger, I want a support group. I want people from all around the world, all women, all men, to support me. And we support each other because why? That is what families do. Today I'm going to kind of talk about something important that has been in my life all my life. I even got a couple of little notes today. Usually I don't have little notes, but I didn't want to miss this about being an entrepreneur, how it got me here, and how other people got me here. Because sometimes that's what it takes. My grandparents owned two fish shops. I didn't know that they owned two. I knew of one, but I didn't know of two. But they had to find their own way, means of making money. And you have to come up with creative ideas to be an entrepreneur. You really do. Which I think is phenomenal. I got it in my blood, so it's right there. And I didn't know it. But anyway, really, I started my career working in the bank and hated it. Hated it. I used to see people come in the bank and they work for themselves and they would have like these big checks or they'll come in with little checks. I used to say, how do they work? How do they live? I need my little paycheck every day, every week, every 2 weeks, and I could barely make it. I'm living from paycheck to paycheck. I worked at the bank and I can remember there were big windows. And I used to look out those windows and say, I'd be so glad when I can get out of here. I hate it. I hate it. I was a single mom. I had two kids. So then you have to start thinking outside the box. But it took me 15 years. I didn't think about it the whole 15 years, but I thought about it for a while. And once I started thinking about it, I said, well, you got to prepare. You got to have this. You got to prepare somewhat now. But you will never, I'm going to say this again, you will never, ever be ready to jump. You just have to take the leap of faith. And the first time you do it, the fear is gone. That's all I can say. The fear is gone. And I met a girl, I remember just before I did it, and she had a store of her own, and she said, you will never, ever be ready. And that's what those words, that's why I say sometimes listening, people don't know. Sometimes the words come out of their mouth is really meant for the person they're talking to. So once I got a little brave, scared to death when I left and I gave my 2 weeks notice, I start doing daycare at home. And I did that. A lot of people probably don't know that either. See, that's another thing you don't know about me. I used to keep kids for a while. My best friend knows. I don't know if Candy knew. Candy, I'm always calling your name, aren't I? And I was living paycheck to paycheck. So what did I have a fear about? You could always go back. And if you don't go back, you just go to another bank. But one thing I learned too, and I learned it from my mom, is once you leave something, don't go back. Do not. It's like a bad marriage. I know some people could go back. Dr. Phil said it's going to be hard at first. But with jobs, and then when I came to that realization that I wasn't going to make good money, they had us dress up pretty every day. So I finally, after 15 years, decided. So I kind of got it together to keep kids, which I did for a while. The average time people home daycare is 5 years, they said. I know I did it more than that. But what I did, the bank did help me a lot of aspect of planning and future planning on top and strategically planning. So I took that and put it into my business is what I did. And I did that for a while, a long while. Then you jump out of one thing. That's one thing I can say. Then you go into another thing. And then I love pregnant women. I love them. I love them from when I was little. I even looked at a college paper that said I always loved procreation. I wanted to be a midwife. And that's way back. God, I had to be, 18, 19 years old. I wrote that paper, autobiography of myself. I need to find that paper. I know I still got it. So, I never forget, I looked at every birth story, because birth stories used to come on years ago, and I used to look at them, and my husband said he was tired of me looking at birth stories. And it was this lady, I never forget, I don't know if it was in Canada, but she was a doula. And I said, it just popped in my brain, I can do that. So what I did was, I had talked to my husband. He said, you sure you can make money? I said, yeah, I can make, scared to death. And that's what I say, you're going to get that fear, but you got to press forward. So I met Candy. You'll hear me call her name a lot in these videos because I love her to death. And Karen. And but I end up meeting Candy. I don't know how I found about her. She did like a 2-day class for doulas in training. But I always say you can train me the methods of the rubbing and all the other stuff. But a doula to me is inside. That's just something you can learn all the other stuff. It's like being a nail person. I took the nail class, passed, but I can't do no nails. You wouldn't want me to do your nails. But it really starts in here. But you do need someone to show you the techniques and what you do in the hospital, what you shouldn't do. So yeah, you do need that. And after that, and show you how things work out, I never thought about being a childbirth educator. So just so happened at the hospital here at Bayfront, they needed a friend of mine. She was teaching the class, and she would let me come in and look at her while she teach. She also would let me, she started letting me teach these classes with these couples. And it went on from there, and I end up getting my credentials in the childbirth education and also a certified doula. I work with pregnant teens. I was certified in that. So you end up, and I used to do, see how it just takes you different places. I started doing group meetings with teens in my home. And see, I got paid for everything. See, at the bank you get paid for one thing. And I also had the freedom because my sons were getting to be teenagers. So I wanted to kind of keep my eye on them a little bit. And even daycare, that helped too with me keeping on my eyes on them. Because you're working all day, you're away from the house. Teens can have a good time. Let me tell you, a real good time. And it really gives you the freedom. It's hard work. It's definitely hard work, but it's worth every minute of it. Because I can even say with this video, this is my second or third time. Probably my third time doing it. And then you wonder, well, how in the heck did you hop over to YouTube? I'm going to tell you. You never know. Listen to that little bitty voice in your head. And sometimes it'll come in a whisper. Sometimes it'll get louder and louder and louder. I'm retired. And I have been retired since I was 58. So what, 8 or 9 years now? And, with the pandemic and you're sitting around, I need to lose some weight because I picked up a couple of pounds. And I saw this girl. Don't ask me how. I saw her on YouTube. And her name is Peach McIntyre. And I probably said her name in another one. But I heard her saying that you should start a YouTube. Like she talking to me. And she said how now I'm going to tell you how young people help old people, is she, her son had told her a couple of years before she started, Mom, you should be, do YouTube, you can become a millionaire. And she said she started, she did have hardly, then she ended up really doing it. She said even her family wouldn't join her YouTube channel. But let me tell you, it's been a little over a year, and Peach has got that 100,000 plaque from YouTube. She's had over 20 million people that's viewed it, and she's also on other platforms. She's got about 7 or 8 YouTube channels. She even got a gambling channel. Peach has 6 kids, 2 are special needs. She's married. She says her husband kind of pulled back. He has a channel too now, and her mom, and he kind of put, but now they're really working together to the good. And even my husband was saying, you know, I'm gonna give you the freedom to do it, and let's see where it takes off. And I know it's gonna be really good. And also I know too, it's fear, because I've never added, you can tell, I'm trying though, I can do a little bit. I've never added, what else? I've never really made long videos. I do other stuff that's short videos, but I've never sat here, and I didn't know how hard it was. I got to look at this little dot. But you should always learn, and that's one thing Peach always, you know, I went to her class, and it was phenomenal, but I know that she could not teach me what I needed to know in that little bit of time. So you should always read, get really good on your craft. That's what, when I was a childbirth educator or a doula, I got certified. When I was a daycare provider, I got my CDA. That's like I could be a teacher in a little daycare center with them little children. But you always got to learn, because I'm going to tell you, this world is spinning. It's spinning like this. It's like, I want to say you on a train and it's just coasting. And you got to either stay on it and stand firm no matter what happens. Because if you don't and you let go and that train stops, you're going to fall off. And that's what it felt like when I first retired, like I was getting off a train. And then, but I just want to say again, if you hate what you do, there is always something else to do in this lifetime. Don't ever, ever give up. Ever give up. Because your success probably just around the corner and you just missed it. I don't care if the trolls come to your channel. Guess what? They never have a face on themselves. They don't have a channel. They scared to get one. So they hide. I say, Lord, they're going to beat me up when I say this. They hide behind that little no picture and they beat you up. But you got the strength, because you're talking about your life. You're talking about what can help other people and also what can help me. And we can extend our family and make it stronger. You're going to even have some friends. You're going to have some family members. But then you're going to have some friends and family members that's your cheerleaders. They're standing on that sideline. And they're saying, girl, you can do it. I know the other night I was up to 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock trying to figure out something. And I was like, oh God, I'm just too old for this. And you know what? I went in, I washed my hair 3 o'clock in the morning, washed my hair, took my shower, talked to my husband a little bit. I went in, sat down and relaxed, got up this morning, didn't think anything about it, and relaxed myself, and then came in and did 3 videos. What about that? So I want to be consistent, because I know that's what it takes. It's not easy. I've learned that with all these cameras and ring lights, and I've done videos with the camera, the ring lights in my glasses. Oh, then you got to redo it, because I don't just want to put out just to put out a video. I want to try my best to the best of my what I can do. But again, how I'm going to end this is never let fear take over. Ever let fear take over. You do not give up, because once you give up, you're just a success. Remember what I said? It's just around the corner. Just around the corner. So, again, being an entrepreneur, it can give you the freedom. You can go on a vacation, because you may have a little bit more money to spend, because when I was at the bank, I ain't making no money. So you're not really, making enough money to even support your family. And then also your children, you'll have more time to keep up with them. And that was the main reason too I did it when I first stopped working at the bank. But I just wished I would have done it sooner. And that's all what most people say. But don't expect to have all your balls in a row, everything in the row, because you're gonna have to. It's gonna take a little leap of faith. But you know what? You got this. You got this. So if you've been thinking about leaving your job, sometimes you got to make a little plan. You don't have the whole plan, but just a little plan of something that you are going to do. But again, I hope that helped a little bit about being an entrepreneur. It's the best thing that you can do. You may do it on the side. You may do it full time. You may need extra money. Or you might just want that little extra spark, that little fire that I got inside of me. Hey, got that. Got it. So, we're going to leave here today. And we didn't drink our cup of wine. We didn't drink our tea and coffee out my favorite little cup. But now you can do it. And tell them little children to go in that playroom. Let you relax 10 or 15 minutes. And again, I am Betty Gathers. And welcome to my channel. Subscribe down there. Get your notifications. Leave a comment. And no nasty ones, please. You're in my house. I invited you to my home. This is a safe place for you. Like I said, I want to build on my family. That's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this for a little money too, but I'm doing this. Again, you have a great day, and I will chat with you later.